Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the Daily Motor real world fuel economy test on the 2023 BMW G310 GS. Quite a bit of words there to let you know that this is an entry-level adventure bike from BMW. It's actually a remarkably good first bike. I was actually pretty surprised that among a lot of the offerings from various manufacturers, you can get this one with a longer warranty at a comparable cost, and it provides friendly beginner ergonomics and the ability to kind of go off-road and on-road and highway and cities, and it's actually got a lot going for it. So today we're going to go out and do about 45 miles in mixed driving. We're going to do some city, we're going to do some aggressive riding, we're going to do some highway cruising at 70 miles per hour, and we're going to ride the bike as though you were maybe riding it on a commute, or kind of how the average rider would ride it. I'm not going to flog it, but I'm also not going to go super easy on it. And we're standardizing this route. It's the same route I just tested the Honda CRF 300L Rally on last week. And we're going to start putting all of our motorcycles through this exact route to try to get some sort of scientific measurement for fuel economy for these bikes. Because unlike four-wheeled automobiles, there's no sort of governing body that mandates how you can test fuel economy for motorcycles. So we are setting out to do it ourselves here at Daily Motor. For those of you who don't know, the G310 is powered by a single-cylinder 300-ish cc engine, probably 310. I haven't shot the full review on the bike, so forgive me that my specs aren't exactly accurate. But this thing should get somewhere around, I would think, the mid-60s in fuel economy. It's a little bit heavier than the Honda was. The Honda was about 330, and it got 75 MPG. This is about 380 pounds, and the gearing's a little bit different. A little bit wider tires, yeah, but easier rolling resistance too. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I've been getting about 58 miles per gallon riding it my way, but that's pretty hard, so I'm expecting mid-60s or so. A few other things to note for today. Outside temperature is about 65 degrees. The tire pressures have been set to their door placard. It's not a door, I guess. I'm so used to the car stuff. Their placard, 25 psi front, 28 psi rear. If you're riding with passengers or a lot of weight regularly, you're gonna wanna bump that up. My rider weight is about 165 pounds, probably about 175 once you factor on gear and my water bladder back here and everything. And I think we're ready to go. So without any further ado, let's head over to the gas station and fill this up. Now we are just going to run regular fuel. That's one of the nice things about the G310 models, is you don't have to put premium in there. It's going to save you some money at the pump. 2.101 gallons going in for our first fill. And we are ready to head out. So I'm going to go out and do the 45.5 miles and catch up with you at the end. And in the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. back to the pump an hour and a half later. 68 MPG average, just a little bit above my estimate, so not too bad there. And we've averaged 35 miles per hour according to the bike. Distance on the bike was 40.9, but I got to get back to the house and double check the mileage and make sure we're actually getting a GPS indicated readout for how far we traveled. But I'm going to top this back off, and then once we're back at the house, we'll get our final calculations. Little last minute observations on the bike after being on the saddle for an hour and 10 minutes. Still pretty comfortable. BMW puts a pretty good seat on this. It's definitely not something they cheaped out on. The shaping is nice. My leg position was good. Overall, I mean, it's hard to argue with it as a commuter style bike. I don't love the motor and I don't love the shifting and the throttle by wire on it, but for a beginner style bike, pretty good. So let's fill it up. All right, got back here and confirmed the mileage. We traveled 41.5 miles on our test, and the bike took 0.615 gallons of fuel. So doing 41.5 divided by 6, that 0.615 is giving us 67 miles per gallon. I guess we should get a little light on this subject, shouldn't we? There we go, 67 miles per gallon for the little G310 GS. Pretty good figure, and honestly pretty darn accurate with the bike's trip meter as well, so definitely something you can trust if you're doing commuting. You're just kind of curious what sort of fuel economy you're getting. I guess we need to do a little bit of math for what sort of range that gives us. Now the G310 GS is coming with a 3-gallon fuel tank, so 3 gallons times that 67 mile per gallon figure is giving you an effective mixed cruising range of just about 200 miles, so pretty good amount for being able to putz around and do a good amount of riding and then fill up the tank after that. Not too bad for a commuter style bike. Definitely helping having that single cylinder motor down there pumping away and the fairly light weight. Now the next two tests are going to constitute these two bikes, the Honda Transalp and the new V-Strom 800DE. So I'm curious what sort of mileage we're going to get on those. Stay tuned and keep an eye out for their tests. But pretty good number for the BMW. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the bike, check the link below. I just recorded the review as well, and then we've got the comparison with the Honda. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, ride on.